Hello, Earth and Space Science students. This is your assignment for Asynchronous Tuesday. I am going to go through an example of how to solve one of these puzzles. Remember, the premise of this is you're sequencing events to find out which things among all of these columns are the absolute oldest in the whole setup. So we have 5 different geographic locations, and we got to find one sequence that includes all of these things, but only once. Okay, so remember, this is based on the law of superposition, which says older things are on the bottom. So as we go through this process, I'm going to be suggesting this is a strategy for you to complete when you're doing this as well. You're going to be using the drawing feature and text box feature to solve each of these correlation puzzles. So I'm going to choose this one right now. We look at all the stuff on the bottom layer: conglomerate, green dolostone, granite, tan sandstone, granite. So we see we have granite, tan sandstone, green dolo, or conglomerate, 4 different things. 2 of them duplicate, but 4 different things. One of those 4 things must be the oldest. So what I'm going to do is look for evidence that I can establish a relationship where older stuff on the bottom rules out younger stuff on top as being the first thing to happen in this whole area when you consider all of these columns together. So if I look here, I don't see anything nearby of any of these bottom layers that are potentially oldest. If I go to green dolo, I see tan sandstone. Right away, I'm going to say, okay, if green dolo is older than tan sandstone, I'm going to put a dot here. And that dot means tan sandstone can't be the oldest. And so now we're down to either granite, green dolo, or conglomerate. Okay, and so as I go through the list, I'm trying to find an association. Here we have green dolo younger than granite, granite being older. I'm going to say green dolo cannot be the oldest either because granite is under green dolo. So now I have to find the relationship between conglomerate and granite. We have 2 options yet. And so if I look through the rest of these columns, I see here's this conglomerate, C-O-N-G. It's above sandstone. So even younger than tan sandstone, which we saw over here, is conglomerate. So conglomerate definitely can't be the oldest either, which means this granite has to be the oldest. So now that I've established granite is the oldest, I'm going to cross off all my granite. I'm going to go into a text box. I'm going to drop the text box of granite at the very bottom of this column, and I'm done with step 1. Okay. Now I repeat the process. Conglomerate, green dolo, white limestone, white LMS. So I'm going to say the names. You can write the abbreviations, but I'm going to address them as they are. So we have green dolo again, tan sandstone, or red sandstone. So anything that's above granite could be next. And so again, we have to go through the list and see if we can get rid of any. So conglomerate, green dolo, white LMS, green dolo again, tan sandstone again. I'm not using any of these granite because they're gone. All right. And so if I look here again, I see, all right, conglomerate is at the bottom. Do I see anything together with conglomerate? No, but I do see tan sandstone can't be the oldest. So green dolo is definitely older than tan sandstone. So if I want, I'd put a dot again over here. And again, this is a slow process, but if you're patient and follow along step by step, it'll start making sense. All right, so here we go. Tan sandstone can't be oldest because next oldest because green dolo is under tan sandstone. Here we go. We have white limestone underneath tan sandstone. So this can't be oldest either. And so now we're looking at conglomerate still, green dolo. We know tan sandstone is not next, or is it red sandstone? And we know here conglomerate is under here, so conglomerate can't be oldest either. All right, so that leaves, again, this is the part you can maybe delete the dots. It'll help you. I'm just going to add dots each time I rule something out. And so here we have can't be this, can't be this, can't be conglomerate because this and this conglomerate are the same. Red sandstone here we still have to consider. But because red sandstone is above conglomerate, we know red sandstone can't be it either. So that tells us the only thing that's left is green dolo. So green dolo must come next. All right, so I'm going to cross green dolo out. I'm going to go back to my text box. Here is green dolo. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect, but loosely organize it. All the stuff should fit at 14 font or smaller in one column without being on top of each other like it is here. All right, so same process again. Conglomerate is next, or tan sandstone, or white limestone, or tan sandstone. So we know, again, it's not conglomerate because conglomerate still is above tan sandstone. So this can't be it again. So it's tan sandstone, white limestone, tan sandstone, or red sandstone. So if I look at this, again, we have to see, is there an association between tan sandstone and red sandstone? We see there is. So red sandstone's up here, so red sandstone can't be next. Okay, but tan sandstone or white limestone could still be next. So we know this red, again, doesn't count yet because we're still on conglomerate. And if I'm comparing red sandstone versus white limestone, here we have white limestone under tan sandstone, and that should have said white limestone versus tan sandstone, not red. So here we see tan is younger than white, so tan can't be third oldest. That means white limestone must be next because white is underneath tan, tan is underneath red, conglomerate is underneath red as well, and so therefore we're up to white limestone as your next oldest. So I'm going to cross white limestone off. I add my text box and continue on. Okay. And if this is starting to make sense, at any point you can obviously stop the screencast and continue on your own, but I will continue to solve this. Just again, it might take you 5 or 6 times and then all of a sudden it clicks. All right, so I got to make sure I've looked at any white limestone. So here's another white limestone. So I want to make sure I mark that off because if you miss it, you can't repeat it. So if I use white limestone here, I got to find any other white limestone. So it requires me to look at all this stuff to get rid of this. So now we can see only one type of rock remains in this 4th column here. So now I'm back to the beginning. Is conglomerate older than red? All right, so we know that's a possibility. Is tan and conglomerate older or younger than one another? So we're looking for tan. Here tan's, again, still older than red, so tan sounds better so far than conglomerate. Here we proved tan is underneath conglomerate, and so that way we said it's not red because red is above tan here. It means red is also younger than tan here. So the next thing is tan sandstone. And so I'm going to cross off all my tan SS's. I'm going to go back to my text box, drop tan sandstone in, drag it just so it looks sort of neatly organized, and then continue on the process. So we still got conglomerate is next, or red sandstone, or black limestone. So we have something new in the picture here, or conglomerate, or red sandstone. And so we know conglomerate is older than black, so it can't be this. So again, if I'm dotting things off, it can't be this. Here, red, we don't know much about it yet, but here we know red is younger than conglomerate, so it can't be red because here we proved it can't be. It can't be this because that's also red, and therefore we're left with conglomerate next. And you'll see as we continue to go, it gets easier and easier. So conglomerate must be next. I'm going to get rid of my conglomerates, add the text box, and then continue on. Red or red must be next. Again, you're always looking above the cross-offs. Red's either next oldest, red's either next oldest, red's either next oldest, or black. So now it's red versus black because these 3 things are the same. Here, black and black are the same. Here is red again versus black. We know red is older, so red sandstone must come next. And so because I have a text box over here, I'm going to be efficient, and I'm going to drop the text box red SS. I'm now going to go back to drawing feature. I'm going to cross off all of my red sandstones, which is a lot of them. So this all of a sudden becomes much more manageable because we just got rid of a bunch. So now green shale could be next, or green shale, or black limestone, or black limestone, or black limestone. So we're really comparing two things here: green shale versus black limestone. And now we got to look for, do they appear together? Here's green and white, two different types of rock, by itself, but here we see black limestone is clearly underneath green shale. Therefore, black limestone must be next. So I'm going to cross off black LMS, cross off black limestone, make sure I didn't miss anything, go back to my text box, BLK LMS, and you get the idea. Now it's green shale versus green shale versus green shale versus white sandstone. Here is the rule superposition once again saves the day. Green shale is clearly older than white sandstone. Therefore, green shale must be next. And now I can cross those off. And if all is well, I should be left with one item. White sandstone is the very youngest of all of these things. And so to finish the puzzle, I'm going to add my new text box. WHTLMS. White limestone, youngest of the bunch. Whether you cross the rest off or not, that's just a strategy I did. And voila, all done. Good luck on this. You have all day tomorrow asynchronous to work on it. If you have questions, reach out. If you have proposed answer and you want to check them before you submit it, go for it. And we'll see you soon.